Welcome to the How to Prepare for a 10-Day Maximum Weight Loss Challenge. This is going to be your roadmap to success because we want you to succeed. We want you to be successful and we want you to lose weight so that you can be your best. Let us introduce ourselves. I am Jean Schumacher and I have with me Nancy Norby Matthews.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Jean. I'm looking forward to everybody's success in the maximum weight loss challenges we're about to launch. I think it's wonderful.
All right. So Nancy, I consider her to be the Starch Queen of Hearts because she's just, I think of her as being a big warm fuzzy, a big warm blanket. She's just so sweet, so kind. She has done her plant-based nutrition certificate program through eCornell. She runs the Facebook plant-based Chico group, and she's just absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Jean. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Jean Schumacher, the Queen of Diamonds, who I am absolutely thrilled to have as my Starch Queen mentor. Jean is also a plant-based certificate graduate of Cornell University and also the Dr. McDougall Starch Solution Certificate. Jean has developed a fabulous program on her website and also has the Plant-Powered Westchester, New York Facebook group. We are both involved in Plant Pure Nation. We have dedicated our lives to helping people transition to a plant-based lifestyle. We're here for the long haul to help everybody succeed.
Awesome. Awesome. See, that's why I love her. She's just so heart and love, and she's all good. This program is based on Dr. McDougall's Maximum Weight Loss. You need to get the book and you need to read it. There's no getting around it. You need to understand the science behind it. It has a bunch of recipes in it. If you haven't done that, please do that. You have to really read this before you can begin a 10-day challenge. You really do.
I think this is imperative for all the challengers to read the book because a lot of people start this desire to lose weight and this idea that it's going to be temporary, where this is a lifestyle change. And by reading the book, you connect the dots and it makes sense to you and you will understand the why it's so important to follow the program, adopt a plant-based lifestyle, and you will find success. It is for life. This is not a diet.
This is a lifestyle. Yep. Okay, so let's start with how do we begin? I'm so glad you asked that, Nancy. You need to sanitize your home. You need to get rid of non-compliant foods. And if this is possible, we understand everybody's situation is different. You may have a spouse who's not joining you and you still need to have these things in your home, and we get that. But if you can get out as much as physically possible, do a clean sweep, empty out the refrigerators, get rid of dairy, meat. Bread for me is no food. I can't have it in the house in any way, shape, or form, especially when I'm doing a 10-day challenge. Oil, you want to be switching away from coffee and sugars and any kind of high-fat foods like, nuts, avocados, things like that, olives. Anything else, Nancy?
You definitely want to get all the refined sugars out of your house. And also you do not want to drink your calories. So if you are a person who gets up in the morning and drinks your orange juice or your tomato juice, yes, you get a lot of vitamin C with that, but it's also going to increase your sugar. You don't need that in the morning.
Yeah, and processed foods too. We need to get those
processed
out.
Foods. You want to get all the processed foods out of your house. If you want to be successful, you got to plan to be successful. And if it's in your house, it's in your mouth.
Absolutely. No question in my house. Yep. If bread comes in, I'm eating it until it's gone.
And lots of times wheat, because it's refined from the whole grain down to a refined powder, the calorie density in that is so great that even a slice of bread can have over 100 calories in it. And it's also a trigger food for many people with food addiction. So it's just best to omit all wheat and refined grains while you're doing the weight loss program.
Just for 10 days. We're doing this just for 10 days.
Correct. And during those 10 days, you'll find out you can also learn a lot to see if you are feeling better because maybe you are wheat sensitive or might be a trigger food for binge eating. There's a lot that you will learn during these 10 days about your body. It's a great experience.
Well, and you want to educate yourself. And that's our next topic is on Dr. McDougall's website. It's amazing resource. There is so much there. We want you to look specifically at two things. One is to go under education, and then under videos, look under free e-lectures. And there's two lectures we would like you to watch, and they are lectures. They're not gross. They're not, graphic or anything. Under the free e-lectures, one is Marketing Milk and Disease, which is a great video. Then the next one is the starch solution. We'd like you to watch that one as well, because that really gives you an understanding in addition to reading the Maximum Weight Loss book.
Correct. This is definitely Dr. McDougall's platform for his nutrition and the guidance that he teaches us that, starch is what our bodies need to survive. This is where we get our energy. So many cultures thrive on a starch-based lifestyle. We don't need animal flesh. We don't get energy from protein. Meat has pure saturated fat and cholesterol, where a nice sweet potato gives you a little energy-packed, nutrition-dense food that makes you satiated. It curbs your hunger, and it's just a wonderful food for the body.
Absolutely. Well, it's the food. Clearly, it's the food.
It's the food.
Next step is to go on Dr. McDougall's site to go to the recipes. He has, first of all, a lot of recipes. I think there's like 2,000. Now, not all of them are going to be maximum weight loss compliance. Both Nancy and I have on our private back groups in the 10-day challenge a clip or a post to about 500 maximum weight loss recipes. There's featured videos. And oh, by the way, Jean, has made most of these videos on here. And there's also a mobile cookbook app as well for Dr. McDougall. So check out those resources.
Yeah, I definitely want to recommend to download the McDougall app. It's in iTunes. I think it was $4.99, and it's wonderful to have with you because everybody has a smartphone. Invest $5 in yourself. That way, it's at your fingertips when you go to the grocery store. You don't have to have a clunky piece of paper. You just click on the app, and then boom, design the app so that it actually gives you the shopping list.
I agree. On to prepare, because in order to be successful, you're going to have to prepare. So both Nancy and I have these documents that we'll be happy to send you. They're good resources to help you to figure out what are you going to be eating for breakfast, lunch, dinner, what are you going to need to purchase, and once you get on autopilot, then this doesn't become necessary. Here's a weekly progress chart that helps you, and you just want to put a little check mark in each box, and we want to go for at least 80% compliance for each day. Did you have, before you had breakfast, did you have some veggies? Same thing for lunch, same thing for dinner. You can have 2 fruits. And did you get to exercise in any way, shape, or form? Did you power walk today, or just a simple walk, 30 minutes? And if you didn't do that, then don't put a check mark. But this helps give you an idea of your progress throughout the 10-day week.
I really like having these 2 documents as a visual. I scotch tape them right on my kitchen cabinet. That way I am accountable to myself. The first thing I see when I wake up in the morning, I need to have my veggies for breakfast. My husband and I do our steamed greens. Then we'll have our starch, which that starch can be steel cut oats or a sweet potato or hash browns. Like Jean does the waffle hash browns. Those are perfect in the morning. But having that right in your face, in your kitchen, it's motivational and it keeps you accountable, which is really important because we are humans and we do tend to wander off plan, but this is a journey and we want to keep you successful. We really recommend that you use the tools, and if you're just starting this program, use the weekly progress chart and use the menu chart to get started.
All right, so next stop is once you figure out what you're going to be eating for the week or for the next 10 days, you're going to shop, you're going to go grocery shopping and go get all of these things, chop, and then prepare. So let's see what this looks like. Berries are my new crack, and I love to have berries. That's one of my fruit for the day. I prepare these little plastic containers, and I usually put some paper towels in the bottom so that it absorbs some of the moisture. Boom, I have those in my fridge ready to go. This will be for 3 days for my husband and I.
What I love about having berries in the morning is it's my fruit and it's my energy to get up in the morning. Superfoods. Get them in the morning. Their berries are low calorie, high nutrient. Have them in the morning to supercharge your day.
Oh, they're full of antioxidants.
Full of antioxidants, full of phytochemicals. Then synergistically, when you have a strawberry, a blueberry, and a blackberry together, probably 100,000 phytochemicals that are turning back the clock.
I then next make salads. I have a fabulous Italian dressing. This comes from the Plant Pure Nation cookbook, which is a fabulous cookbook. A lot of the recipes, though, in that book are not maximum weight loss compliant, but this one is. I prepare and make salads for the three of us for the day, and it's absolutely awesome.
I love the salad dressing, too. It's excellent.
Super easy, quick, boom, done. I make it for the week, and it's good to go. I also make and put into containers carrots, celery, and on the left is my steamed kale. And I will drizzle some infused balsamic vinegar over that. The website is Bima.
They have an excellent assortment, and I actually reached out to one of the owners at the company and asked them about their products that they use, because I love organic, and they use organic vinegars, and they don't advertise it on all of their products yet because they are in the process of getting certified. So this is a very good quality vinegar and an excellent ethical company.
Yes. Her name's Chef Terry, by the way. And she will be at Plant Stock. So if anybody's coming or wants to go to Plant Stock, she will be there, and you don't have to pay shipping. And then your refrigerator looks like this. After you've chopped, cut, and prepared, you've got stuff all set and ready to go.
Jean doesn't know this, but I call this photograph of her kitchen the Mona Lisa of plant-based living. This is a masterpiece. I tried to be this good with my preparation. I batch cook on the weekend, but Jean has taken the joy.
Well, batch cooking is important. You definitely want to do that like Saturday or Sunday before you start the maximum 10-day weight loss. You want to have some kind of grain in your fridge. There's all kinds out there. There's polenta, barley, millet, wheat berries, all kinds of good things.
Like quinoa. My husband and I like quinoa. We also have barley, pearl barley. We add those to soup. They add starch, and they are hearty. They make your soup thicker, and they also help with satiation. So really, really, really invest in some great
Beans. There's all different kinds of beans out there. Right now, I've got cooking in my Instant Pot some kidney beans, which I'm going to make into a Mexican lasagna for my husband. He likes that. That is not maximum weight loss compliant, but he loves that. So I'm going to use that as my base, and then the rest of the beans I'll be using for myself. And just either you can pour them over rice. You can do so many things with them.
Yeah, beans are very versatile. The beans have the insoluble fiber that really helps clean the intestinal tract and lower your cholesterol, and they're also very low on the glycemic index. I make a batch every week. So I have 2 pressure cookers, the Instant Pot, and then I also have a 12-quart Duo. So I make a batch every week. I keep enough out for the week, and then I freeze a batch. We put beans on rice. We put beans on potatoes. Beans are a superfood, and you can also just put them right on salad. They're really good to heat up and put right on your greens for breakfast. And that is a savory meal, which is great to start the morning with because it doesn't trigger food cravings. That is a key thing to understand in the morning, is starting with a savory meal.
And potatoes. I love potatoes. I have my potato waffles. I probably will have them a couple of times a week. I absolutely adore them. I get the Trader Joe's. They're already shredded, cut up. Boom. I put them right into, and there's a video on that and how I cook on them. But I love potatoes in all different ways, shape, or form.
If you have time, like Jean mentioned, she buys the prepackaged shredded potatoes. But what I like to do is I cook the russet potatoes right in the Instant Pot for 11 minutes under pressure and rapid release, or you can just bake them right in your oven, or you can boil them in a big pot of water. Then I put them in the refrigerator in a big bowl, uncovered, just let them cool in the refrigerator, and then you can just take, I'm sure everybody has one of those old-fashioned box shredders. Just start shredding them with the skin on, and then you can take the shredded potatoes and put in a Ziploc bag, and boom, you've made your own shredded potatoes. Nick and I do this when we go camping. We'll make a big batch of potatoes, shred them up, and then we have our hash browns when we're out at the campsite. It's fantastic. And you can also do that at home. And then you're not spending the extra money on prepackaged food. So that's just a little tip and a trick that helps with potatoes. I've always got potatoes going. So when you're leaving and you know you're going to have a long day, literally take one of those little purse-style coolers with you and put 2 or 3 potatoes in there with one of those blue ice chips and have a potato on the road. I call 3 o'clock the potato hour. That's when most people are crashing. You're at work. You're an hour away from getting off work, and you're bored, and you're ready to wind the day down, and you're thinking, I'm hungry. Don't go to the snack machine. You need to bring a potato. When you have a potato at 3, 3:30, 4 o'clock, it takes you all the way to the dinner time, and you feel good. So 3 o'clock potato hour. Keep your potatoes with you. Dr. McDougall would absolutely love seeing you eat a potato at 3 o'clock.
I love to put the dressing, the Italian dressing, over the top, and
I do too.
Just mash it in. Yep, it's fantastic.
It's great, and you can use the balsamic vinegar. It's wonderful.
Another one is rice. I always continually have rice in my fridge at all times. I particularly like the short grain brown rice. How about you, Nancy? What is your favorite?
So in our kitchen, we have both the exact same one that you have listed there on your graphic, the Lundberg short grain brown rice. Fun fact is Lundberg, they're just about 10 miles south of where I live. They're an amazing family, and they grow rice, and it's delicious. So we love and always keep the long grain organic brown rice, and we also like long grain brown rice. And you'll see that some recipes call for long grain, some call for short grain. And if you don't have long grain, it's perfectly fine to use short grain. They're interchangeable. One is just the short grain, I find, is more hearty. It's, more toothy. It's more dense.
Chewy.
It's more chewy. That's the right word. It's more chewy.
Okay. Well, you already talked about the sweet potato. Sweet potato is amazing. You can use it in so many different ways. It's very, very versatile. Plus phytonutrients and on and on and on.
Packed with beta carotene. They're just little nature's perfect food, all wrapped up, ready for us to eat.
And while it's not necessary, an Instant Pot will make your life so much easier.
You can even travel with this. Chef AJ takes hers with her everywhere she goes. And Nick and I have traveled for work and traveled for pleasure. And we found that if you take your Instant Pot or your steamer or your little electric burner, then you just make your breakfast in your hotel room. You save, probably $50 on breakfast, and you save money, and you know where your food source is coming from. So they actually travel well, these little Instant Pots.
Well, there's that trucker that lost a lot of weight, and he just cooked with this in his truck all the time, and he kept it going.
Yeah, that's Bobby Anderson, the plant fueled trucker. He's the one who really, really motivated me to get the Instant Pot. I've never looked back. I think everybody should have one.
And I've got a website that has got a phenomenal amount of resources, from research to teaching materials to recipes, and most important are videos. Especially if you're new to this way of eating, there is 3 on my video page. There is what is whole food plant-based living, how to begin, and tips and tricks. I also have a YouTube channel, so you might want to subscribe to that, because I'm constantly putting new cooking videos out there. All my interviews and lectures live there. So anytime something comes out, if you're a subscriber, you'll get an email link to it.
It's a great resource. This is one of the reasons why Jean is the Starch Queen of Diamonds, is because she has devoted so much time and energy to helping all of us adopt a plant-based lifestyle. One of the things that helped me be successful in losing 100 pounds is immersing yourself in education. Dedicate an hour every day to watching one of Jean's videos, watching one of the lectures on Dr. McDougall's website, reading the book. Makes your life easier when you understand it, and your journey will be forever. It's motivating. Please use Jean's website, use Dr. McDougall's website. Education is key.
Well, and it's not just mine or Dr. McDougall. There's all kinds, Caldwell Esselstyn and nutritionfacts.org. I mean, it goes on and on.
Right. I mean, when we talk about plant-based lifestyle, we're also including Dr. Esselstyn. We're including the T. Colin Campbell Network, all of them. Just immerse yourself.
Next is, both Nancy and I support what's called a trifecta approach, because it's not only important what goes in your body, the food, the drink, that's mission critical. It's what's fueling you. I compare it to when I win lotto. I'm going to buy a 1969 metallic blue Corvette, convertible, of course. It's a power machine. Love it. It's a great car. Kerosene is a great fuel, but if you put kerosene in that car, you're going to kill that car, and I will cry. So this is the right fuel that we're putting in, and you want to make sure, the food and drink that you're doing is going to help you and be the right fuel. but it's also important what goes on your body as well. It literally only takes 26 seconds for anything that you put on your body to go into your bloodstream. So we both want you to become an ingredient detective, and there's two different ways that you can do that. One is to go to the EWG, that's the environmentalworkinggroup.org. They have two different databases which are fantastic. One is a cosmetic database which you can go and search there's over 65,000 products that you can search on their database, and they give you an overview about the information about these products, and they rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. So you want to get something that is, like a number 1. You want to go for ones. The cleaning products base it on A to F, so you definitely want to choose products that are going to be good for you and not be toxic, because once you get the toxins out of your body, you're cleaning your body out. You don't want to put anything toxic on top of it. If this is kind of overwhelming for you, which understandably it can be, because for a long time I was on this journey trying to find products that weren't toxic for me until I came across this company. I found this at Plant Stock, and it's called Pure Haven Essentials. These are affordable products. They're amazing, and best of all, they're non-toxic. If you're interested in this, contact Nancy or I, and we can share information about this.
I'd like to interject, Jean. When I started my plant-based journey back on March 1st, 2012, I wasn't thinking about, I should say, I've always been mindful of chemicals. I'm a farm kid. My dad used chemicals on the orchard, and I saw the path of destruction, what chemicals can do. I mean, literally back in the 70s, my dad would be spraying the walnut trees with chemicals, and there'd be dead birds out in the orchard. And, that always, it hit home with me. It resonated with me. My dad died of cancer. My mom had breast cancer. She's a survivor. Uncles that were also farmers who died of cancer. So chemicals are a big deal for me. 3 years ago, my grandson was born, and he started, my daughter used the Honest Company diapers, which are free of chlorine and chemicals, and he never had a diaper rash. He has used these Honest Company diapers his entire life, little short life so far on Earth. Never did he have a diaper rash. So chemicals are a big thing. My husband had dandruff. He uses the Pure Haven shampoo. So it, like you say, 26 seconds on the skin and it's in your system. The skin is our largest organ in the human body. All of the cells are pulling in what we put on top of it. So it's really important. So I'm really excited about how you call it the trifecta, because sure, you don't want to eat chemicals and put toxins into your body with dairy and meat. You also have to think about your environment, your cleaning supplies. We don't have any chemicals in our home anymore. We actually have ants right now. So my husband's battling ants with essential oils.
And we're not doing this as something, both Nancy and I work full time. We also lecture all over the area about this, lifestyle. And so we weren't looking for another job.
No.
But this fits in with our life, our mantra. I can't say enough about these products because they are amazing. But that's not the focus of this. The focus of this is for you to become toxic free in all ways, shapes, and forms. Like I said, you can go to the Environmental Working Group. You can choose and go through there and knock your socks off if you find a different company. Wonderful. But if that's overwhelming and you want to cut through to the chase, Nancy and I have done the research. We know this is an amazing company. Otherwise, we wouldn't support it, period.
Well, that's exactly right. And when you're doing the research, it does get overwhelming. Pure Haven Essentials has, I think, Jean, we should share that it was a young teenage girl that started this company. Again, it's not about selling the products. It's about the trifecta. It's completing the circle of your journey from ingesting healthy food to detox your system and get healthy, then to your exterior self, your skin, what's going on your skin. I love makeup, so I've always loved makeup. And for me now, it's also part of not wanting to spend my dollars on companies that test on animals. I don't want to have anything to do with my money being associated with any company that's using animals for testing.
No, well, they don't test on animals. We test on husbands, but not animals. So,
right. Husbands are okay.
Anyway, let's go on. Because you do have a lot of toxins already in your body. There's two types of chemicals in your body, and this is, I'm a chemistry teacher. Sometimes I try not let it out, but I do. It comes out periodically. But there's two types of chemicals. One is fat soluble, the other one's water soluble. If it's water soluble, you're going to pee it out of your body. Great. But if it's fat soluble, it's going into your fat cells, and your fat cells become these storage. It's these toxic dumps in your body. So as you start to lose weight, you need to be prepared, because as these toxins come out, that 57 Chevy license plate, might be coming out at some point.
I don't want to think about what's coming out of me with being a farm kid. Oh my gosh. I think a T-bone might come out of my butt.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's a thought. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for putting
serious.
That in my head.
Hey, there's a visual. I mean, this is fat layers, people. This is serious stuff.
Well, you need to be prepared as they release, because your body can respond in a variety of different ways. You could have pimples or headaches. You could be nauseous, have hives or rashes, things like that. Nancy, tell us about what happened to you.
Well, when we started our first 10-day challenge, 4 days in, I had 2 horrific night sweats. Now, I am postmenopausal, and being plant-based, I pretty much went through menopause without any night sweats. Well, 4 days in, I woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and I was drenched. I had to get up. I had to change the sheets, take a shower to get all of the sweat off of me. Not 5 minutes after I got back to bed and fell asleep, it happened again. 2 full-on night sweats back to back, and I thought, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I thought, is this hormones? Then the next morning I got up and I had a headache and I didn't feel good, and then I realized I'm detoxing. Even though I've been plant-based for 5 years, I still have 25 pounds to lose, so I'm getting down to that next layer of fat that is starting to detox. Oh, I felt like I had the flu. It was really disgusting. But then I went and exercised that night. I drank a lot of lemon water, and the next day I felt much better. And so detoxing is a real thing. And Dr. McDougall, when you watch his lectures, he'll tell you that if they did a fat study of the human being, they can actually tell you where you've lived, what you've eaten, just by analyzing our fat. Pretty disgusting.
It is. We talked a little bit earlier about the toxins that are in personal care products. Let me just give you one simple example. Parabens are a chemical family. There's like methylparaben, butylparaben, anything that ends with paraben you don't want in your personal care products. So they are bioaccumulative, and your body interprets them as estrogen. So here's what happens. You started to accumulate all of this, and now your body's starting to get rid of it. And especially estrogen is going to have an impact on, especially a female's reproductive system. And so Nancy, I'm sure this is probably what was happening to you, is you were going through a layer of parabens in your body, and your body was responding to it as if it was estrogen, and your body responded with this night sweat that was trying to get cleaned out of your system. So your body, that would be my guess. Do I know for 100%? No. Do I know for sure? No.
It thrills me that it happened, because that means it's no longer in me.
Right. Exactly. And know that this is temporary, because your body is getting rid of this stuff. So there's a couple of things, like, for example, peppermint or chamomile tea is a good way to help get rid of. You want to hydrate. You want to stay hydrated. So these are very good calming, soothing drinks.
Yes, both peppermint and chamomile tea are in my cupboard. I have them. They're very good.
Another one is just you want to stay very, very hydrated. Drinking lots of lemon lime water is a great way to help flush your system out.
I agree. That's what I did the morning after the detox. It really helped.
Another thing is you want to include like lots of cilantro and fresh herbs in your greens, in your salads, in your cooking as much as possible. Especially cilantro really helps to detox the body and get metals out.
Yeah, cilantro is excellent. It really cleanses the liver.
And to connect. That's one of the things. Both Nancy and I are going to connect in our BAT chats. We're setting up a chat through Facebook, but also we have the BAT group for the 10-day challenge. The 10-day challenge group is where you're going to ask your questions. If you have something that's concerning you or bothering you, then we can go through and answer that. There's a lot of people that are very knowledgeable, so we're going to, use each other as support and help and reference. The chat is to provide support. How was your day? Was there something that happened that derailed you? And more important, how are you going to handle it next time? So that's a good way to help support one another. Nancy and I will both try and be there each night, but there may be nights we can't get there at 9 o'clock, or just check in. How's everybody doing? or during the day. Sometimes we've had little chats pop up during the day. It's a great way to connect with other people that are out there
Definitely,
that are
this is
doing
where
the same
social
thing
media
as
is
you.
a great tool. It's powerful. Collectively, when I can say, hey, did you try the McDougall minestrone soup? Another person can say, yeah, I made it, but it needed a little bit more of this seasoning or that seasoning. And so this is where we can really connect, like you were saying, but we can also support each other. You know, are you having a detox day? Share how awful you feel, because misery loves company. Somebody might be detoxing with you and you can compare notes, and you just feel better if you know somebody is facing the same issues you are. And also, it's a little bit scary. I had a message this morning from a lady that I'm helping, and she's going through some pretty serious detox right now. She's getting down to a layer of fat that probably hasn't been stressed by the body in 20 years. And now she has headaches, fatigue, her skin is breaking out, everything that Jean listed. She's about 6 weeks into her plant-based journey. She feels terrible, and she's also fearful. She thinks something might be wrong with her. So when we connect, these are ways where somebody can say, oh yeah, I had that happen to me. Day or two, you're going to be feeling better. It calms your nerves, and you're like, okay, I can do this. I can get through this.
Okay, before you begin this journey, we really strongly recommend that you check with your doctor. We also recommend that you get a blood base. There's a lot of places around that are now doing this. You can pop into many of the Doc in the Box are starting to offer a blood panel. You want to definitely see about your cholesterol, just some basic numbers to have. You also want to be careful if you're on medication, especially if you're on high blood pressure medications or if you're diabetic, because you're on medications and these things can change very, very quickly. So if you're on blood pressure medications, you want to be checking and monitoring your blood pressure on a daily basis, number one. And number two, if you're diabetic, you want to be checking your blood sugars a little bit more frequently. And you want to check with your doctor, because first of all, your doctor's not going to have a clue what you're talking about, so you're going to have to educate your doctor. There's a lot of good information on Dr. McDougall's website that you can print out and have a conversation with your doctor about. Most doctors are not trained in plant-based nutrition. They don't understand how the body can start to heal itself and heal itself within 10 days. It's very quick. So like if you're on high blood pressure medication and you're continuing to take the same dose, your blood pressure could drop very quickly and you could become dizzy and could pass out. And we don't want that to happen.
Right. So basically, too, what Jean's saying is you have to be your health advocate, because if you watch the documentary Plant Pure Nation and if you watch the documentary Forks Over Knives, you'll know that your doctor has 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, what can you do? When you're sitting in there in the exam room, you got 10 to 15 minutes of your doctor's attention. But what he can do is he or she can write a prescription. So what you need to do is, number one, you need to march into there with confidence, and you have to say, hi, doctor, I'm going to start a plant-based journey. I would like to have my lipid panel done. I'd like to have my blood sugar done because I want to have a baseline. And that's the word that you use, is baseline. And many health insurances have a wellness program. So really get to know what your wellness program is that's in your health insurance. You might be able to get these baseline blood samples for free. And there's nothing better. For me, in my journey, my cholesterol was high as 263, if memory serves, and nothing has made me more motivated every year is than getting my cholesterol checked and watch it go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. It tells me and it gives me the momentum that I need to stick with this journey, because that was the key thing for me, was to lower my cholesterol without having to take a statin. If you're taking high blood pressure medications, do you have a blood pressure cuff at home? Take your blood pressure, monitor it. If you don't, most pharmacies like Rite Aid, Walgreens have the little place where you sit down, stick your arm in it, and have your blood pressure drawn. It's free. Any doctor's office, emergency room, they'll all take your blood pressure for free. I know this firsthand because my dad was a cardiac patient, and he would go into our local emergency room and have his blood pressure taken. This was back before they had the digital home blood pressure cuffs. So you are your health advocate. So nobody's going to make you healthy but you. So talk to your doctor, like Jean said, and just tell him, I need these baseline numbers. And if he asks you what you're doing, you just matter-of-factly say, I'm adopting a plant-based lifestyle, and I want to have these numbers taken. And he'll say, Okay. And then he'll write the order for your blood work because, like I said, what can a doctor do in 15 minutes? They can either write you a prescription or they can write you a lab slip. So be a health advocate, know your body. Also, the benefit of telling your doctor that you're adopting this, if you do have hypertension, is so that you can talk to the receptionist and say, hey, I told the doctor I'm reducing my sodium intake. I need to have my medication adjusted. So it's going to get you a response quicker. So that's my 2 cents.
We're not advocating that you change your medication yourselves. We're advocating you do it with your doctor. So I think we've given you enough to achieve a roadmap to success. We want you to be successful. And if you have questions, you know where we are.
Thank you, everybody. And we do want you to be successful. And Jean and I are here to help you every single step of the way.